It's NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams for what should be a terrific matchup here tonight. We're at Chesapeake Energy Arena in downtown OKC. Tonight, it's the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now pass taken away by the Thunder.
Now push it. Let's attack in transition so we can build this lead.
And he's fouled. Very close, Jay. The results, he's going to the line.
You see this all the time. The defensive players establishing his presence on the court and also checking to see how far the refs are going to let him go.
And he connects on the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2. Clarkson with the basketball, trailing by 4. Stuffs it down with authority.
Oh, man, did you see that swiftness? He dunked that thing like a tennis ball.
It looked like that in his hand. Jay, without question, one of the biggest moments of the NBA offseason, Paul George stays in OKC.
I think him and Russ work well off each other. Playoff P wants to be Playoff P all the time. Who better to bring that out of you than the Beast Boy?
Stuffs it down with authority. Gotta love the rim rockers.
Gotta be careful, though. Don't hang on the rim too long. You might get a tee.
OKC ball. Westbrook to George. Trying to cash in. Wide open look, won't go.
And as a shooter, this is when you start to second-guess your shot. You've had 3 wide-open shots that you just can't put through the net, but still, keep hunting your shot.
Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
I don't think I could do that on the 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. George. Not that time. He misses. Tough shot and nearly a chance at a 3-point play. No foul.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
George. Paul George trying to convert the extra try. Hasn't missed yet. Got it. To Paul George. John Henson tips it.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
People become so fixated on the hands or the arms or the strengths of the arms. I look at the legs. The strength of his legs help him power through that play. That's how you get and ones.
The free throw, good. Caps off the 3-point play. The lead is 4. Now a whistle. And we're going to get a timeout from OKC as they'll talk things over in what's now a 4-point game. Westbrook to George. Fires the 3. That's rebounded by the Cavaliers. End to end on that one. 94 feet for the basket.
They're going to have to find answers defensively and quickly because he's carving them up in the first quarter.
Westbrook to Paul George. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Well, their first three, and they're right back in it within a possession in this first quarter.
Well, I don't want to live in the past, but if you got a couple of those that dropped earlier, you could have had a nice lead. Now, we got a dogfight.
The assist from number 8.
Russ at the controls to George. Knocks it down from mid-range. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively and he makes those clutch shots, it re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
Westbrook into the front court. Down 5. They get it to George. Down low. Strong finish for Paul George. Jay, they've had no answer for this guy.
He's been on fire this first quarter. That's the way you take it right to your opponent. You attack right out of the gate.
Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor.
Substitutions. Cleveland.
Sexton. Knocked loose. Thunder have it.
Come on.
And the reward, he's going to the line.
It's still early, so no real impact on that call. But you know that they're going to call this one tight, so you might want to keep your hands out of his pocket.
2 minutes.
First one, count it. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. Cavaliers with the basketball. Big stuff and a lot of traffic on the way to the rim.
Showing you why he belongs here in this league with the best of the best. Efficient scoring out of the rookie here tonight.
Paul George to Schroeder. George buries it on the catch and shoot.
I know the refs on the court all the time, but it doesn't mean they can see every play. Maybe defensively, grab his jersey, step on his toe, do something to kind of change up his pace.
Oh, good defense there. Thunder with the steal.
It's early. Get a good quality shot here.
George, that's what you come to expect. Your best players making baskets.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
To Paul George. Yes, when this guy's open, look out. Nearly automatic.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball, and there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Larry Nance Jr. sends it away. Flushes it home.
The assist from number 3.
He'll put it up at the buzzer, and he can't connect there. Shot no good. Horn sounds, ending the first quarter of play. One of those games, every shot seems to be going down. Only 1 quarter in the books, Jay. Defensively, what needs to be tightened up?
If anything on this game, Ed, you have to expect the unexpected. When players have range that extend outside the gymnasium, oh, we're going to get a chance to watch something special.
Here comes the screen. Smith, down low Thompson. Tristan Thompson with the slam.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice finish. It's all business.
Carmelo Anthony traded, but Sam Presti turns that into Dennis Schroeder.
And I love this acquisition by the Thunder. When you think about Schroeder, he is almost the opposite of what Russell Westbrook is. He is not a ball-dominant guard. He will have the ball in his hands, but he's more apt to make plays quickly with the ball than Russell, who likes to...
from the start. Let's do it.
Substitutions, Cleveland. Substitutions, Oklahoma City.
Schroeder. Great feed. John Henson able to recover with the block. Couldn't keep it in. It's out off John Henson. Gets it in the left corner.
Oh, he sent that one to the third row.
He was locked in. That was impressive. Kevin Love rejects it.
That's why a rim protector is a necessity in this game.
John Henson with the block.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
Number 17, Dennis Schroeder.
Nice pass to set things up.
Look, there was barely any contact on that last play. I agree with the ref's no call. Let him play.
Knight into the front court. Leads a bucket. And scores at the basket. Jay, tough recovery that time.
Ooh, Ed, looking like the young Manu Ginobili with hair out there with the Euro step.
That wasn't that long ago, was it?
Oh, out there looking like the Kimbe Mutombo.
Took it right to him, and the defender was ready. Cavs at the controls. Knocked loose, and that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Thunder, so this will stay with the Cavs. Stuffs it down with authority. He was ready right at the tip.
What a first half he's having. He came out of the gate, attacked, found ways to get to the rim. Now look how easy the game is coming to him.
Here comes the screen. Can't connect from in close. Knight into the front court. They lead it. 4-point game. And watch him do the rest. Slam dunk.
It's that easy, Ed. You never want to leave any doubt when attacking the rim.
Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. He'll run the offense. John Henson sends it away.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Stuffs it down with authority. That has to feel deflating for the other side.
They've really came out and made a statement so far in this first half. Another powerful dunk, but another easy dunk. When are we going to see some defense?
Here comes the screen. Down to Grant. Throws it down.
Huh, what a move. But the move never should have happened in the first place, especially if there's communication from the help side defender. You have to let that guy know which way he can force him defensively to where there's help.
Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
For three, that's off the side of the rim, no good. Count the basket. A lot of contact, no foul.
So many times you can tell if a player is going to finish before he even gets to the rim. Did you see that look on his face? That was a look of a three-point play. You always going in thinking you can get more at the rim.
To Schroeder. He connects, had all the time in the world. Too easy.
You know what I like about this pass play? Instead of putting his head down and forcing the action, he patiently waited for the play to develop.
Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
The free throw, good. And they add one more to the lead. It's up to 11. Here's Schroeder with it. Looking to make something happen. Passed it off. And the basket good at the rim.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
And scores, and the foul. Kevin Love does it all. And now a chance at a three-point play.
So many times we get on the defender for quote-unquote letting the offensive player score on an and one. Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
Had a chance, but it's no good. Time expires to end the first half. The Cavaliers enjoying a healthy lead.
The Cavaliers enter the locker room.
Player of the half.
I'm ready to skip ahead.
And with that,
First half, very one-sided. What will the second half bring? We'll find out as we're underway. Stuffs it down with authority.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat five, but we're watching one man carry four other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
And he buries it.
This is why I go back into player mode. If the dude starts to try to have 40 points on me, I'm going to foul out. I'm going to start hitting him in places he's not used to being hit. I'm trying to do anything to throw him off his game.
Oh, Jay, he commands the paint this time down.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
And a throwdown.
And if you're on defense on that last possession, no need to look over to the coach's bench, hold up your arms, wonder what did you do. Everybody got back. Everybody communicated. Everybody pointed. It was just better offense than it was defense.
Yes, and the foul. And a chance at three coming up.
He should get some kind of acting award. That's a great sell by the offensive player. But guess what? The ref spit, and that's the game.
Free throw's good as they continue to widen their lead. Russell Westbrook with the rock. John Henson.
Oh, he just blocked that shot out of bounds.
Yeah, they're lucky they get the ball back. Westbrook to George. Lets it fly from long range. Can't get the bounce.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away on the offensive end.
Westbrook into the front court. Down a bundle.
Come on, that's money.
George can't connect. And the finish. Slam dunk.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
It's good. Count the basket and the foul.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number one, create contact, and number two, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
The Thunder will use a timeout as their coach wants to get a word in with his guys here in this third quarter.
I got ball. Listen big.
Westbrook. To Adams. Whoops, that won't go. Westbrook. Here's a chance from long range. Offensive board. Oh, Russell Westbrook. Small sample size, but making the most of it. He's 1 for 2.
And attention to detail is everything for a professional scorer like that. Actually getting it done the hard way there.
To Westbrook. Here comes the screen. Nothing going here on that drive. Shot from the lane won't go. Knocked loose. Oh, a whistle.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
New blood coming in for both sides. Sexton. Oh, nice find for the basket.
The okey doke. Let's see if he'll try that one again.
Russ at the controls. Take stock of the floor. To Westbrook. OKC now with 4 to shoot. Whistled for the foul. Chance coming up at the free throw line.
Sometimes when you get up big, you get a little careless. But attention to detail through the end, that's how you avoid unnecessary fouls.
Russell Westbrook has got 2 shots coming. A career 81% free throw shooter. And fails to hit them both. Hits the first, misses the second. And the slam.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of it.
And a putback slam. Jay, let's see if that's a sign for him.
Well, he's been pretty much non-existent the first 3 quarters, but when you have a play like that, that can get the juices going, and that can help you with your offensive rhythm.
And the rebound corralled by Westbrook. Schroeder with the basketball. His guys down big. That pass stolen by the Cavs.
You know, Ed, sometimes you're just more ready to play than your opponent. The intensity and the effort, it's off the charts.
Oklahoma City ball. Westbrook to Schroeder. Surveys the floor. Tough move in close quarters with the crossover. It's Westbrook. Deep 2 there. Won't go. Stuffs it down with authority.
Man, they are just continuing to pour it on. But the one thing we know about in this league, you have to make sure that you continue to play with energy because leads can evaporate quickly.
Hey, you got the screen right, screen right, screen right.
Just inside the arc. At the buzzer. 3 quarters down. The Cavs with a sizable advantage. The Thunder have it to start the 4th quarter. And, Jay, they have got to get something going quick. They have not looked good at all through 3 quarters.
Well, here's the problem. Guys are out here a little bit lethargic, a little bit lackadaisical. And sometimes great teams think they can just turn the light switch on whenever they want. That's not the way great teams need to operate to win championships. That light needs to stay on all the time.
Finishing inside the paint on that one.
You know, it reminds me out of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Stuffs it down with authority. Jay, that's been the story this evening.
I mean, another one? Another dunk? Another easy possession? I mean, how demoralizing can this be for the team? Why am I the only one yelling? I don't see anybody on the bench yelling. I don't see anybody on the court even angry right now.
Smith with it up top. His guys holding the big lead. It goes down.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Curling inside. Stuffs it down with authority.
That's called a grown man play, Ed. Someone's trying to get featured on SportsCenter tonight.
Thunder with the basketball to Westbrook. Here comes the screen. Down to Grant. Larry Nance Jr. pins it.
You know, sometimes basketball can become a very beautiful thing to watch. During the regular season, things can get difficult. Energy can be low. The passion at times can even be lower because players are tired. They're fatigued. But today, it's all been good. They're putting in an absolute show with killer efficiency and tremendous effort and intensity.
It's a big finish.
And easy, too. Get back on defense.
And scores.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
Clarkson with the basketball. His guys hold a commanding lead. To Paul George. Converts in the paint. Nice finish at the rim.
We're watching a clinic right now. We're watching basketball 101. Whoever this professor is, he needs to get paid top dollar.
4-3. And the Thunder with the rebound. To George. Gets it to go. Someone clearly missed their rotation.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next level elite PG. No doubt about it. This year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
The screen sets him up for two.
It's almost like he had the defender on a string, and he's the puppet master.
Stuffs it down with authority.
And when you get your prescription, you take your medicine, and you call it a day.
To Paul George. Going to launch. Beyond the arc. Missed it. To Clarkson. Off the assist.
Let me tell you something that nobody will ever talk about. Did you see him slow down right before he was about to go up? That slow change of speed, that slight change was just enough to throw the defender off.
Changes coming from both sides right now. George, he's had a good shooting performance, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough.
Yeah, no one else pretty much helped out. As a coach, I would be irate that nobody helped pick up the slack. Look, one man can never beat five.
Short jumper won't fall. Oklahoma City's got it. To Schroeder. George. He's not shy about shooting it from out there, but he misses this time.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. He'll run the offense. To George. Beyond the arc for three. He's been dialed in from long distance. That's now 5 threes for the game.
Nothing more painful than the next day watching tape, seeing the fact that he got 15 points off three-point shots.
Slams it down.
It's that easy, Ed. You never want to leave any doubt when attacking the rim.
Paul George, 4-2. Wide open look, won't go.
I don't know why he rushed that shot. He was wide open. Take your time.
Has a look. Won't go. John Henson with a piece. And that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Thunder. taken in by Clarkson.
The game is won in the details. The team who has the most attention to the minutia is a team that wins the ball game.
On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. We look forward to seeing you again next time.
It's NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by... The opening tip won by the Pacers as we get underway in downtown Indianapolis. Screen coming.
Hey, big screen right there, big screen.
Oladipo to Collison. Jay, what's going to be good enough this year for the Rockets to get to the NBA Finals?
Well, you need CP3 to be healthy, but also I think James Harden needs to continue to build on his play in the playoffs in particular. Those last 6 games against the Golden State Warriors, he really struggled from the three-point line. He shot 37% during the regular season. He shot 20% in the Western Conference Finals.
Free throw's good. A three-point play. And with that, they go up by 3. Pacers with the possession. Oladipo to Collison. Slam dunk.
I mean, defense, is it that easy? Can I see some reaction after somebody gets an easy dunk? Some yelling, some kind of emotion? I need you to get involved back in this ballgame.
Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
That was such a great job by the offensive player. Knowing that you're probably going to take some lumps here and there, but still remaining aggressive throughout the shot and getting a crack at the extra point.
The free throw, good. Caps off the three-point play. The lead is 4. Into the front court comes Collison. He'll run the offense. Tyreke Evans to the basket.
You see, this game is just like the game of life. It is filled with ebbs and flows. Reek came in with such high expectations, but then struggled to see his own potential for years. But with the right change of scenery, he puts you into a time machine, and all of a sudden, he's right back to where he was a decade ago.
To Oladipo. To Collison. Wide open look, won't go.
He missed that shot on his own. The defense didn't do anything on that play to make him miss.
Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down. Jay, they've had no answer for this guy.
He's been on fire this first quarter. That's the way you take it right to your opponent. You attack right out of the gate.
Victor Oladipo with the slam. Gotta love the rim rockers.
Gotta be careful, though. Don't hang on the rim too long. You might get a tee.
And a throwdown. Feed the big fella. Point to the passer.
So good when you get everybody involved, in particular your bigs. You get them going, they'll run the court faster, and guess what? They'll set harder screens because they're actually in the game.
His first effort off the mark. Clint Capella pins it.
Oh, he blocked it. Oh, out there looking like the Kimbe Mutombo.
Took it right to him, and the defender was stuffs it down with authority.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
And he hits. Shifting gears. Here comes some substitutions. Collison to Matthews. Trying to cash in. Matthews unable to get it to go.
Look, sometimes it takes a little while to get into the play.
Ferocious slam inside.
Showing you why he belongs here in this league with the best of the best. Efficient scoring out of the rookie here tonight.
Indiana with the basketball. Passed it off. Yes, Wesley Matthews. Missed his first. That one goes.
In the paint, you need to finish. Just like that.
Ball into the front court. Lead stands at 7. And coasting in for 2.
They're going to have to find answers defensively and quickly because he's carving them up in the first quarter.
To Oladipo. Now a steal as the Rockets have it. Pacers come up with it. Oladipo to Collison. Deep 2 there, won't go. Pacers have it. Jay, no question, the Pacers were the surprise of the NBA last year. What are your expectations for them now?
Top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference, and it all starts with Victor Oladipo. Last year, he was the guy, but this year, he needs to become the man.
Off the assist.
That's a strong finish. Regardless of contact, finishing strong is key.
We get a whistle and a timeout for Houston as they'll go over some tactics now in this first quarter of play. Changes coming from both sides right now. Here's Paul. Brings it up the floor. Tough make through traffic.
Man, I've seen this kid play with some grown men prior to making it to the league. As my old friend would say, same pan, same grease.
To Matthews. Beyond the arc for three. Matthews here against Nene. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
He should get some kind of acting award. That's a great sell by the offensive player. But guess what? The refs bit, and that's the game.
The free throw is good. Finishing off the three-point play. The lead grows to 12. Joseph with it. Looking to make something happen. Paul with it up top. They can get a 2 for 1 if they play this right. Ah, the monster stuff. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
Thaddeus Young matched up with Nene. The screen sets him up for 2.
The pro game has really come down to PNRs. Let's see how the defense adjusts.
And strokes it.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. The pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
And scores. That'll do it for the first quarter. It's been all Rockets. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as...
You know what's coming. Go get it.
Oladipo against Chris Paul. Short jumper stays out.
I don't know why he rushed that shot. He was wide open. Take your time.
Count it. No and one. There was some contact there.
And did you see the lift on the shot? Did you see the ball release off the hand? To be able to have the concentration to finish with such a feathery touch in the midst of contact, that's something special to watch.
Yes, it drops. Little drama on that one.
Here's a tip for your defense. You can't give him that much space. You have to push up into his personal space and make him play the majority of the possessions with his back to the basket. Because if you allow him to open up, there's no stopping him.
To Collison. Screen coming. Collison guarded by Clint Capella. Great feed. Sets it up. And the rebound taken in by the Rockets. And the basket good at the rim.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Now Paul with the basketball. Under a minute to go. Stuffs it down with authority. He was ready right at the tip.
What a first half he's having. He came out of the gate, attacked, found ways to get to the rim. Now look how easy the game is coming to him.
Oladipo to Collison. Second effort. The rebound belongs to Houston. He gets it.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Paul across the timeline. His guys can hold for the final shot. And a nice finish at the rim.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
A very one-sided first half of basketball as we are at halftime. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando. And
The Rockets absolutely dominate.
Player of the half.
I like this choice because he back.
first half, very one-sided. What will the second half bring? We'll find out as we're underway. Yes, and the foul, and a chance at 3 coming up.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number 1, create contact, and number 2, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
Stuffs it down with authority.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat 5, but we're watching one man carry 4 other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
To Oladipo. Over to the right side from long range. That's off the side of the rim, no good.
All the bricks you go in the crib.
Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
People become so fixated on the hands or the arms or the strengths of the arms. I look at the legs. The strength of his legs help him power through that play. That's how you get and ones.
Free throw good to cap off the 3-point play as they continue to open things up here in the third quarter.
Block up. Here you go.
Collison to Oladipo. Screen coming. Oladipo matched up with Capella. And he hits.
Woo, did you see that? Eyes to the rim, and the rest was all net.
The pass set it all up.
And I'll never forget one of my first games playing as a rookie with the Bulls. I talked to Steve Nash, and Steve Nash always used to tell me, the more you come out and you get your teammates involved, the easier it will be for you to score down the stretch. Think about it. You come out, you get 7, 8 quick assists, then a ball fake on the next possession. He bit, easy layup.
Jay, sum it up. Why was Victor Oladipo the most improved last year?
Because he was no longer Robin. Victor Oladipo has become Batman, and he attacks the game the same way Russell Westbrook does. That short stint at OKC, it taught Victor Oladipo how to compete 24/7.
Collison to Oladipo. Cruises inside for 2.
He was so wide open. Pretty much looked like a deer staring into the headlights. Last resort, but still.
Blocked away!
That one's in the 15th row.
Huge denial. And counted at the rim.
And when people talk about vision, people usually talk about the vision to make the pass. But how about seeing the chaos in the traffic before the pass even occurs? That's next level vision. How can I catch people out of position defensively? That's what we saw in that last possession.
Converts in the paint. Nice finish at the rim.
There's some players out there that like the freedom of space, and then we have the anomalies. We have the players who feel comfortable being uncomfortable, and almost the physicality of the game centers them and puts them right on balance every time.
Kenneth Faried, huge block. Looks like both teams are making substitutions. Evans to Turner. Knocked loose. Yes, and the foul, and a chance at 3 coming up.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
Oh, he can't connect.
Cutter to the tag.
Evans. A pass taken away by the Rockets.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in 1st and 2nd grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
Oladipo matched up with Harden. Yes, Victor Oladipo. Quiet night, but 2 for 3 in the contest right now.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
And the finish at the rim.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
It's Indiana basketball. Shot from the lane won't go to Evans. Collison. Nene snatching it out of the air. Just enough of a head fake to help on that one.
The okie doke. Let's see if he'll try that one again.
Paul into the front court. His guys hold a commanding lead.
Number 3, Chris Paul.
Has a look. Gets a look. Can't hit. Darren Collison. Tough shooting. Only 2 for 6 after that make.
You see, here's why versatility is so imperative for your offensive repertoire. If you're a one-trick pony as a defender, I know exactly how to defend you because you only do one thing. But if you have versatility, then the coach can put you in multiple looks within the offense, and then you can get it any way you want it.
Time for some new personnel into the game.
That's been signed by the entire team.
Corey Joseph picked up by Paul.
Number 6, Corey Joseph.
Oladipo. Oh, he had it. Harden. All by himself. Creates his own shot there.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays, no one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Chris Paul tips it. Nene rejects it. Sabonis here against Harden. Stuffs it down with authority.
The assist from number 13, James Harden.
He'll put it up at the buzzer. Third quarter comes to an end. The Rockets way out in front. So the Pacers with the basketball to start the fourth quarter. They're looking up at a big margin. And that, Jay, shouldn't come as a surprise to many.
Well, for them to have a chance to win, I'm glad they brought their A game in their backpacks.
Substitutions, Houston.
To Oladipo. Goes to the right side. Oladipo. Nice pass to get things going.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
Paul into the front court. His guys holding, stuffs it down with authority. Jay, that's been the story this evening.
I mean, another one? Another dunk? Another easy possession? I mean, how demoralizing can this be for the team? Why am I the only one yelling? I don't see anybody on the bench yelling. I don't see anybody on the court even angry right now.
Nice pass to set things up. Runner here won't go. On the follow. Way to stay with it.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
Paul with it up top. He'll run the offense. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
You know, it reminds me, Ed, of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down. He's been a one-man show, but Jay, they're still down in this one.
He's their lone bright star, their only star tonight. Some other of the supporting cast members really need to step up.
Oladipo into the front court. His guys down big. Oh, bad pass as the Rockets come away with it.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
And stuffs it home.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. That misses with 2 seconds to go. And a putback slam. Late heave to beat the buzzer. It's the Rockets who are victorious as they win this one in blowout fashion. That'll wrap things up. For Jay Williams and our entire crew.
On behalf of Ed Coyne and Jay Williams, this is Jalen Rose signing off.
The Suns win the opening tip. They'll have it first as we get going in the desert. Gets it in the right corner. Wide open look, won't go.
Look, sometimes it takes a little while to get into the flow of the game. During the next timeout or during the next break in action, take the ball and go shoot it. See the ball go through the net a couple of times.
The pass set it all up.
In the paint, you need to finish. Just like that.
Knight into the front court. They trail by 2. Shot from the lane won't go. Dwayne Wade to Harden. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
You know, back in 2007, 2008, I got my first start as being an analyst. And I remember talking to a head coach named Herb Sendek of Arizona State. And we were speaking about this young kid that he was raving about. His name was James Harden. Herb was telling me all these different stories about how he could score from anywhere on the court and how he was one of the most dynamic playmakers he's ever seen. I don't even think Herb expected James to be the James we see today.
Cruises inside for 2.
Great job using that shoulder to create contact with the defender without hesitation.
Short jumper off the mark.
Woo, I'm telling you right now, he will not get a better look than that right there the rest of the night.
Count it. No and 1. There was some contact there.
There's some players out there that like the freedom of space, and then we have the anomalies. We have the players who feel comfortable being uncomfortable, and almost the physicality of the game centers them and puts them right on balance every time.
To Wade. He was smothered and still gets it to go down.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball, and there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Navigating through traffic, Bagley to Wade. Count the basket inside.
That's a good run right here to end the first quarter to open up that lead. If you're the coach of this team, you have to like the effort your guys are giving.
Knocked loose. Magic have it. And he's fouled. Very close, Jay. Free throws coming up.
You see this all the time. The defensive players establishing his presence on the court and also checking to see how far the refs are going to let him go.
Dwayne Wade, a couple of free throws on the way. For his career, 76% from the line. Able to convert on both free throws. Phoenix has the ball. He was hacked. They let it go. And he's going to the line to shoot.
Trust me, you want to avoid early foul trouble. Take that one as a warning.
Brandon Knight has got 2 shots coming. A career 70% free throw shooter. And he makes them both. To Bagley. And the basket good at the rim.
This comes down to great execution both on the offensive and defensive end of the floor. Let's see if they can carry this into the second quarter.
Won't go.
Throw it up, baby. I got this.
A pass stolen by Phoenix. Cleans it up. Offensive board. First quarter in the books. So far, all magic. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Down to Cauley Stein. Offensive rebound. Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
Knight into the front court. Down a dozen. Easy path to the rim.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
To Harden. Down low, Cauley-Stein. Count it. And the foul. He's going to the line for a free throw.
The defender was actually in a good position there. They even made a decent play on the ball. But sometimes those bounces go the other way. Still, stay aggressive out there.
Free throw up and good as they open things up to a 13-point lead. Phoenix with it. The crossover gets inside and the slam dunk.
It's easy to become mesmerized when you watch a player who can create off the dribble. We call that dancing. When you allow a player to dance with that much space, that's Prob City.
Brandon Knight here against Harden. To the rim, lays it up and in.
And whether you're moving north or south or east or west, you got to be able to keep pace with the ball carrier and most importantly, stay in his chest. That's on the defender. It's way too early to be fatigued.
It's good and one.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
The free throw is good. Finishing off the three-point play, the lead grows to 12. Knight into the front court. He'll run the offense. Passed it off. And he's fouled. Very close. Free throws coming up.
Ed, as a defender, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot foul in the act of upward motion into your shot. Your timing needs to be better.
And hits the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2. To Bagley. And scores.
It's so difficult to block a guy like that with that kind of athleticism and length. Your timing almost has to be perfect, but pretty much there's no stopping him when he's around the rim.
Screen coming. Knocked loose. That ball's out of bounds. Last touch by a Magic, so the Suns keep the possession. Look out, Devin Booker. 2 of 4 now.
That's a strong finish. Regardless of contact, finishing strong is key.
Harden to Bagley. Trevor Ariza pins it.
That's why a rim protector is a necessity in this game.
Nice finish at the rim.
Okay, you don't get a 10 for style points, but it worked.
Harden into the front court. Counting down toward a minute to go in this first half. It's Phoenix ball. Second effort. That's toughness right there. Physical inside, gets it to go.
Well, he finished strong because he was able to initiate the contact. When you initiate the contact first, you bounce off the defender, which balances you at the rim.
Great dish to set it up. Look out, Devin Booker. He's 3 of 5. 60% shooting from the field.
And you best believe that every one of those that goes in fills the confidence meter.
Coach has seen enough. He wants some changes. New personnel onto the floor.
Look up.
To Bagley. Count it.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
To Booker. Driving right to the basket. Look out, Devin Booker. He's now 4 for 6.
Again, Ed, if you made it to this level, you're capable of doing things that normal humans can never do, even if you're not known for it.
Knight into the front court. Now down 6. Runner's good there. James add 2 points to the board. Deep 3 at the buzzer. That'll do it for the first half. The Magic have the lead. Tight game through the first 2 quarters as we resume play here in the third. Leonard. Oh, the Suns come up with the steal.
You know, Ed, sometimes you're just more ready to play than your opponent. The intensity and the effort is off the charts.
Tough make through traffic.
I was expecting the dish there, but way to fake that one and lay that one in.
To Leonard. And count the basket inside.
Some players are just built to absorb the contact. He pretty much dusted that defender off like that was a bug at the park.
Layup's good. Those are the types of shots you always strive for.
There you go. I like seeing his scoring coming from unlikely sources.
That ball's out of bounds. Last touch by a Magic. Suns control the possession. Oh, they call the foul, Jay.
Ed, you can't lunge like that.
That's his first personal foul. Team foul number 1.
The drive, right to the basket. Here's Booker on the drive, but a shot misses. Here's Irving into the front court. His guys lead here early stages, third quarter. And a nice finish at the rim.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
Knight into the front court. The deficit is 6. From the painted area, won't go down. Look out, Devin Booker. With that shot, he's 5 for 8.
I love the drive to the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
Count the basket, and it could have been more. No whistle.
Look, there was barely any contact on that last play. I agree with the ref's no call. Let him play.
Took it down the lane, but it's no good.
That's superb defense. That's a defense getting there from the weak side early and making the player a short arm shot.
And he finishes at the rim.
Bodies bouncing all around on that layup with the offense winning that battle. But if the defense keeps up that kind of pressure, good things are bound to happen.
Magic own the possession. Nice pass to get things going.
Did you see that change of direction mid-flight? And also the English he utilized to spin the ball off the rim? That was a thing of beauty.
Knight into the front court. His guys trail by 10. Beyond the arc for 3. If he's hitting shots, it could be a long night.
Great shot by the offense. But the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough 2 than a wide open 3.
The assist from number 00.
Knight into the front court. His guys down by 9. To Booker. Fires the 3. Oh, he couldn't get it to go. Irving with the basketball. They can get it 2 for 1 if they hurry. Kyrie Irving. Not a busy night, but effective. 2 for 2.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Knight into the front court. His guys down 11. Driving right to the basket. In a flash. Scores at the rim.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
And the Suns right there for the rebound. Count the bucket for 2. Tough looking shot there. Still gets it to go down. Deep three at the buzzer. That's the end of the quarter with the Magic in front. It'll be Suns basketball as we begin the fourth quarter. And I think the best way to describe where they stand right now is they're down, but they're not out.
It's a game we used to play in the league all the time. It's called a series of stops. That means get 3 stops in a row. Each game is a game within the game. You get 3 stops in a row, and then another 3 stops in a row, you're right back in this ballgame.
Leonard. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. That'll get out of bounds off of Irving. It's Suns ball. Nice pass to set. Stuffs it down with authority.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
A lot of contact on that play. He plays through it and scores.
The pass was really good, but what I love most about the play, Ed, was that every player that ran in transition had active hands, which means they were active targets. They provided a target for the player to deliver the pass. That's how you work together as teammates.
Booker. 4-3. Not getting the bounce. Cauley Stein picked up by Booker. James to Leonard. Kawhi Leonard. Better late than never. That was his first shot, and it goes down.
Let me tell you something that nobody will ever talk about. Did you see him slow down right before he was about to go up? That slow change of speed, that slight change was just enough to throw the defender off.
Trevor Ariza able to recover with the block.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
Knocked loose. Magic in control.
Here's your chance to break this thing wide open.
Throws it down.
Oh, man, did you see that swiftness? He dunked that thing like a tennis ball.
It looked like that in his hand. Knight into the front court, trailing by 11. Josh Jackson above the rim on that. Jay, I'm surprised he had a chance to wrap him up.
Well, you're not the only one surprised. This guy is not a good free throw shooter. You never let him have an easy bucket. If anything, make him earn it at the charity stripe.
Knocked loose. Can't connect. Bagley to Leonard. Count the basket. 2 more points in the paint. Now whistle and a timeout for Phoenix. They're down big in this fourth quarter and a chance here to empty their bench. They're going to make some changes with some new personnel on the floor. Booker. DeAndre Ayton in close, converts.
Ooh, if I had that kind of vertical, I'd be throwing it off the glass and showing out. But the coaching staff is probably okay with the easy lay right there.
Knight into the front court. 9-point margin. Shot from in close, no good. Got it.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Oh, yeah, it's me and you. It's me and you. I got ball. Big screen right there. Big screen.
A shot no good there for Booker. Just inside the arc. At the buzzer, the Magic secure the victory as they win this one handily. That'll wrap things up. For Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.